Good morning, Mike and Arlen. Our Philippine journey. Thank you so much for dropping by. We really appreciate it. Subscribers, viewers, commenters, trolls even, we don't care. All right? Thank you so much. I want to talk to you about chicken insurance. So, let's talk. All right. Before we even start, I'm going to say this. Arlen is in the province at Fiesta this week. That being said, when Arlen's not here and I'm bouncing off the walls trying to do and keep busy and do things, sometimes my twisted mind makes a presentation. Number two, yes, this is a little twisted. Yes, it's a little bit funny. And yes, you know what's better than that is covering an important topic. So let's slowly get ready. Chicken insurance. Do not confuse that with health insurance. Chicken insurance is not health insurance. In fact, if you need health insurance, a shameless plug here from Michael Onstad. Michael Onstad, and I'll put his contact stuff down below, all right, how you can look him up. He is pretty much the expat authority for health insurance here in the Philippines. He's very informative, very honest. And, you know, if you're like me, there are like several types of people I hate to deal with. I hate to deal with lawyers. I hate to deal with insurance guys. And I hate to deal with car salesmen. So no offense if you're any of those. But Michael's pretty nice guy. That's all I can say. Number two, this is a significant issue. It really is. So what is chicken insurance? I'm going to take responsibility for being the person that coined the term chicken insurance. And it is something that every single visitor, tourist, and expat needs to have. Every one of you needs to have chicken insurance. And so let's just explain it. So let's take a look at this. This is the one-piece chicken McDo, I guess, McDo, solo from McDonald's, okay? You get one piece of chicken, you get some gravy, and you get a little bit of rice, and it's 96 pesos. So 96 pesos at today's rate. Today's exchange rate is 57.04. On the international market. That's not what you're going to get, but that's the international banking market. All right, 57.04 at the time that I made this. That comes out to 57.04, 90. Well, I have to go back to my notes here. $1.63. $1.63. Now, let's take a look at this. These are condoms. And by God, every guy and girl that's watching this should know what a damn condom is. $620 now. You know, I'm sure you can buy cheaper ones. I'm sure you can buy more expensive ones. I'm sure you have a preference maybe. I don't know. It's not, condoms are not an issue for me. I'm married happily. I don't need to worry about them. But you might. $6.22 per dozen. I'm sorry, 622 pesos per dozen. So 622 pesos, that comes out to $10.91 for 12. All right? And that now comes out to 54 pesos each, or about 95 cents. So, for this small amount of money, this very, very small amount of money, you can end up protecting yourself. There's no shortage of, and you guys know if you're a Philippine YouTube blogger watcher, if you're a Philippine YouTube watcher, okay, you guys know how many YouTuber guys out there have left a trail of children left and right. You know that there's a responsibility that they just don't own up to. And you can multiply that probably logarithmically for the number of expats, visitors, and tourists that come to the Philippines that leave a trail. And if you think it's an unknown, all you have to do is look at these videos that people put out about Red Street. And they're walking up and down Red Street at night. How many of those door girls look like there's a basketball up underneath their little dress? Okay? They're getting pregnant, and that expat is gone. How many of you expats at the age of 50 plus, all right, are being and thinking rationally about having a child? Now, don't get me wrong. If you planned on it, if it is your plan to have a child, that you have this obligation taken care of, that you know what you've got to take care of, that's not you, okay? But when you think there aren't going to be consequences, you're just totally incorrect. There are people out there that have children that don't have U.S. citizenship registration, yet what happens if they pass away? That child could be getting support, all right? They get, I don't know, it's something like 70% or 75% of that person's Social Security. Or there may be other things involved. Don't leave these kids to beg in the street. Don't come to this country and further the genealogy mix, all right? The genetic the genetic dysphoria of genes. Don't do it. Insure yourself. Get the chicken insurance. That is the key. Here's where you don't, and I'm going to tell you why I brought this up. I brought this up for two things. Number one, I know, not well, but as an acquaintance, two expats in the past year that have had an accident, and they are now going to be fathers. One of them has left the country and will never be seen again. One of them is sticking it out, but God knows for how long. All right? Number two, you don't want to be here. Leah and Blair Slog, all right, they put together, and these guys, you know what? If you're looking for a channel to support and to add to help them, all right, these people do great stuff. They match up, do research and everything else on DNA testing, and they bring together lost families, so to speak. That's the best word that I can give you. Personally, if you want a complete and thorough understanding, go to their channel and look at their stuff, because they do a big service. You don't want to end up having your child searching for you, all right, or showing up at your American or British or Australian child's doorstep saying, hey, I'm your brother, I'm your sister, your dad boned my mom, and I'm the result. What's for dinner? You don't want that, okay? You honestly don't. Look, you need the chicken insurance for that lousy small amount of money. For $10, I don't know, I guess it depends on how prolific you are, okay? But that's got to be at least maybe a week's worth of prolific experimentation. I don't know. I got no idea. All right, maybe you're Superman. Who knows? but you do see the point. All right? You need chicken insurance as much as you need health insurance. And no offense to Michael, chicken insurance is cheaper. But health insurance might be just as important. In fact, it is. There's no way around it. I'm actually kind of working with Michael right now, getting additional insurance for Arlen. And Michael, I know I'm working slowly. I'm sorry. I am. Ace Bachelor Cool is the #2 single YouTube blogger in Angeles City. I am the #1 laziest blogger in Angeles City. So, my priorities go in different directions, and Arlen's not sick, and it's like, yeah, I know I need to get this in place before something happens, but I apologize. That's a totally different story. All of those things being said, you need the chicken insurance. How many guys do you know that have left kids around? Have you? All right? Let's just be honest. Do you support the children that you've accidentally fathered in this country? I'm not even going to get into other countries. I'm just not going to do it. Yes, you know what? The Philippines does have an agreement for child support with the U.S., but for them to chase it down, I've never heard of a woman that's done it. Don't do that. I can be out at breakfast and I see little kid beggars all the time. Out at Tequila Reef, there's 3 of them, and they're there every day. They're not in school, and they are school age. They really are. They're not in school, and you can tell their clothes haven't been washed in a few days, and it doesn't look like they've washed their hair in a few days. Don't let your child end up like that. Get some chicken insurance. All right. I know it's a little off color in comparison to many other things, but it's a serious issue. All right. Please do subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and be safe and get that chicken insurance. That's for sure.